what issues in Islam did you find hardest to accept rationally, and how did you overcome or resolved it? When you were newly encountering Islam, what were the issues which were the hardest for you?
Oh, okay. My Achilles heel, whenever I tried to do Dawah, was the marriage of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to Aisha radiallahu anha. This was, as a Westerner, this was something I struggled with, and I cringed. Well, I thought, oh, please don't say this. Please don't say this question. And of course, the question kept coming, and it was my Achilles heel. I dreaded it. I fobbed it off, and then I said, you know what? I'm going to own this question. I'm going to research into everything about this question, and I'm going to see what's the problem. Because sometimes the people asking the question don't realize they're shooting themselves in the foot. So, for example, a Christian may ask this question: how could your prophet marry a young girl? What do you mean by a young girl? What age do you think is suitable for marriage? And they're like, well, I think 16. 16, 18. These are the responses they give. And I say to the Christian, remind me how old Mary was when she gave birth to your Lord and Savior. And they're like, what? They don't know, because it's not in their Bible. What? Remind me how old your Mary was when she gave birth to your Lord and Savior. And he goes, I don't know. I said, well, according to the Catholic Encyclopedia and Church Father citation, she was 12. Do you have a problem with 12-year-olds giving birth? Now their face starts sweating. And the amazing thing here is this: God chose her. So God has no issue with 12-year-olds giving birth. And her husband was 90. Joseph, according to the Catholic Encyclopedia, was 70. He was 90. So now we have a 90-year-old married to a 12-year-old who's giving birth to your Lord and Savior. So now they're shocked. Oh, where does it say that? Just do your research. So they don't realize this. And now when an atheist comes along with this question, remind me what age is right for procreation in the animal kingdom. You're an atheist, mate. We're all animals, isn't it? We all evolved from common ancestors. So, see, this is the thing you see. People like to paradigm shift. But if you're an atheist, your paradigm is this: there's no inherently good. There's nothing inherently bad. We're all just bacteria. Everything has been determined. There's no direction. So these are your presuppositions. So now tell me, because we're part of the animal kingdom, when do animals procreate? What age? Well, it's not to do with age. Well, what's it to do with then? It's to do with maturity. Okay, so according to your worldview, at maturity, then it's okay. So what's your problem? If marriage is such a young age, because age is not a point for you. So again, you've reversed it on them to show them that their own positions make no sense. Now, the beautiful thing in Islam, we don't just stop about physical maturity. We talk about mental maturity. And thus, in Islam, you marry when they reach mental and physical maturity. It's a combination of the two. Now, the amazing thing is this: most people don't know this. Up until just over 100 years ago, the marriage age in Europe was 7. You could marry at 7, and you could consummate the marriage on puberty, on maturity. What changed? Why in the 1900s it was 7 and now it is what it is? Well, basically, it was the Industrial Revolution that changed everything. It was the fact that public schools got created that changed everything. Because up until the Industrial Revolution, there was no such thing as adolescence. There was no such thing as teenagers. There was children, adults. Mature, this is why, people are working from very, very early age, and when the girl reaches a certain age, she's married. Why? Because people, they've got families, and they can't afford to support them, just a mouth doing nothing, like today, is completely different. But the invention of the teenager changed everything. The age rates all got raised. This is why for 1900 years, no one mentioned the age of Aisha anha and the Prophet Muhammad. No one even thought about it. It was the going rates. But now what they try to do, it's a logical fallacy, or to retrospectively try to import morals of today to the past. Because you can't do it. Because there's only 4 types of morality. You've got moral skepticism, which is the basis that you don't know what's right or wrong. You've got moral relativism, is where your right and wrong is based upon your culture and society of the day. You've got moral realism, where your morality is objective, based upon what we believe, God. And then you have nihilism, which is there's no such thing as morality, right and wrong. So moral relativism doesn't work in the case of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Moral skepticism doesn't work. Moral realism will work, but then it isn't a problem. So this is how I addressed that particular issue and dealt with it. And now people are very wary now when you approach me with a question, because it's going to slap you first. You're going to, sorry, what? And before you know it, you're the one who's going to be doing the explaining. So yeah, so that was the most difficult question I used to get asked. Now I just own it.